how's everyone doing? Just let me know if you can hear me okay. As usual, it is a crash landing because stream setups hate me and everything I do in my entire life. All right, so let me know if you can hear me okay. It might be a little bit of an echo. That's because the room is pretty open, but other than that, we should be okay. But let me know if you can hear me all right. Hear me great, perfect. What's going on, Ken, Ronald, Vegar? What's going on, Olaus, Ramo? How we doing? How we doing? All right, let's just kick this in, I guess, because it is 5 o'clock, and I don't like when streams make me wait, so I don't want to make you guys wait. It is Saturday night here in Manhattan. Oh, what's going on, everyone? How you doing? Seth, Miranda, Last Witness, Sheila, the best woman on the face of the earth. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Happy New Year, by the way. I know it's kind of like the last day to do that, being the 7th, which means we are one complete week into this year. And I'm kicking in this year hard. I mean, I made a promise to myself to not get lazy this year, not get ambivalent to things, and just really take on whatever opportunities I can get instead of being like, what difference is it going to make? Well, I don't know. So super blurry. Super blurry. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Ha! I didn't kick in the focus, the zoom all the way. See, Nikon lets you do this and lock the lens, and I did not kick it in all the way. So now I should be sharp. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Also, the laptop I'm streaming this on is the little laptop that could for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but it's like the fans are going Mach 29. All right, so I am gonna be at ImagingUSA in a couple weeks, and I have a 600 seat class, and it is fast solutions with speedlights, but I'm gonna teach it more on the lines of here's some cool lighting stuff and some real hardcore principles and basics. And we're just gonna happen to be using speedlights, and here's the issues you might run into with speedlights. Here's where you get the advantage of using speedlights. So I wanted to get my kit back together, and my kit has absolutely changed because, as you guys know, I love my Profoto A10s. However, Profoto has come out with the A2, and I know I did a video, I'm all in on the A10. I'm still all in on the A10. I still have a fleet of these, but the A2 is a little more ideal for a lot of things I'm doing. And I'm gonna go into why I'm gonna be using those, and we're gonna go into how I'm packing this kit. So now I'm gonna have a mix of A10 speedlights and A2 micro monolights, all right? So can't have issues, you use Profoto. What issues? What issues? I'm not having issues. It's just, I say things and I go all in on them, and then people like hold me to them till I die. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right, so I have to be able to do a couple things when I pack for a kit. One, all my stuff has to go into a carry-on, because the only thing I want to be able, that I have to check would be stuff that I'm willing to lose, which is stuff like clothing, whatever I can't buy when I get there, whatever I can buy when I get there, I should say. Things like an extra stand, maybe if I throw like some tube lights in there or something like that, like whatever I can put in a checked bag that I am willing to say goodbye to, I need everything else to go in with me on the plane, because if that bag gets lost, I still got to do my job, right? So that's the way I look at things. I know this is like an impromptu stream, but if you guys can hit like, that would be really great. It does help out this channel. My channel's been taking a massive hit lately, I know. I did just put out an old demo of me shooting cosplay, and I thought it was a pretty cool like micro demo. It was 8 minutes long, so if you do get a chance, check out the rest of this channel. There's a lot of cool stuff on here. So the first thing I got to do is figure out what I'm doing, and in this case, we're doing speedlights, right? And we're doing small stuff, right? So here is my Thinktank Security V3. Inside this case is 4 lights, 2 stands, 3 articulating arms, tons of grip, clamps, super clamps, speed rings, everything you could think of that I would be able to just open up, throw some lights up, and get going with some kind of end result, right? That's what's in this case. What happens with, yeah, the Elvira shirt. I think this is a knockoff shirt, so I don't know. I hope Cassandra got some cut out of this. The other thing I should mention is I have to put a backpack on my back that has everything I need in case something happens to this, right? So on my back, I do a Wandered Provoke 31 backpack. You guys have seen me use that nonstop. In there is my laptop, my camera kit, the lenses, right? Always have at least one speedlight on me. Now, I have at least one speedlight on me and my trigger. So I can always have an off-camera option if I need it. I have Manfrotto halos, right? And the halo, you guys have seen me use, comes out of a case this big and gives me a diffuser and reflector this big. So I'm able to do a lot with just an off-camera light and this if I lost everything else. But here, in this case, I'm gonna be teaching, right? I gotta not be limited. I have to be able to kind of be versatile, answer questions by showing things and stuff like that. So I really wanted to go with my carry-on that I go through. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I'm gonna have to do it like this because, actually, I wonder if I can just move the camera this way so I can kind of be more, let me see if I can move you guys. Sorry, you're gonna get dizzy. Oh, don't get sick on me. Oh no. All right, and there's even more gear behind me. What's going on from Austria? Marcus, what's going on? So this here is basically my small lights in studio format that I can take anywhere, right? So let's open this thing up and I'm gonna show you guys exactly why I choose what I choose. Also, there's 3 packs of gels in here. I mean, I'm kitted out here, I really am. Let me tip you guys down just a little bit. In here, by the way, this has built-in locks. I do have a roll of cinefoil, which you guys, if you haven't seen my cinefoil video, go watch my cinefoil video. You guys are killing me if you haven't. I'm going to unravel this and fold it over so it's flat and slip it into the pocket so I'm not carrying on a roll with me. I also tend to keep things in here like little clamps, whatever on the fly, and power strips. But in here, this is where I think you guys have a conception of today's gear, and I'm gonna show you why I'm a big pain in the ass when it comes to the type of gear I look for and why. C2K, thanks so much, man. Vegar, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. It did cost a bunch of money to get here today, believe me. All right, so in here, on top, right away, is all my modifiers. And this is the first thing that I'm gonna show you that people always jump down my throat about, is why don't I use modifiers that have a built-in speed ring? Like the Rapid Box or the Easy Box, the stuff that has like a column that you click into, because I can just fold these up this flat and small and fit in all these modifiers. If I had any boxes that had a built-in speed ring, I wouldn't be able to do this. Right here is 4 Profoto OCF Mark II adapter rings. And what this is, that's it. This is gonna allow me to put whatever box I want on. So imagine if I had this here and it was this long with a duffel bag type shape, it wouldn't fit as easily. I wouldn't be able to carry as many things, you know? Do you need a lot of stuff like, hold on, let me see this. Do you need a lot of stuff like double chargers and the diffuser in case you lose one of the bags? I do tend to double up on certain things, but if I'm not going in for like a massive hardcore trip and I'm just doing like a 3-day teaching thing, I'm usually okay with just not having redundancies. The redundancies I look for is like I have 4 lights instead of just 2. I have an extra trigger somehow. Every one of my speed lights is an extra trigger, right? If something happens to this, if I run out of batteries, if it falls and breaks, whatever, I still have extra speed lights which can be triggers. So that's where my redundancies come in, if that makes any sense. Why is this not working? I made sure to, hold on guys, I'm just gonna try to fix something really quick on the fly, of course, as per usual. Control V, oh, I see, the thing changed. Let me see if that works again. Yep, okay, cool. Yeah, portability is everything. What good is the gear if it's not on you, right? You know what, I'm actually going to grab a stool because I'm going to be low to the ground on this one. Sorry for this janked up setup, guys. So what I like about the Profoto OCF Mark II is a few things. Right off the bat, I just want you to realize that the speed rings are a separate entity, right? So I'm not married to this being my speed ring if I want to use my modifiers for another kit somehow. But I keep them on here, and in here is a magnet, right? So instead of it being a piece of plastic that like clamps down on your light like some other modifier adapters, this has a bunch of magnets, and that's it. Not only is it a bunch of magnets, but it's a collar. It's not just like magnetic on, you're going into it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like, look, this is where the modifier, look how deep that goes in. Look where my finger is. So even if like wind gets to it or whatever, it won't fall out. It's really secure. If you're curious, you can check out my A2 video on Adorama TV. I kind of knock it around. You can see just how strong it is. Thanks so much, Ronald. I really appreciate that. Ken, thank you so much for the super chats, guys. I really appreciate it. So when people ask me about the modifiers, look at how nothing this is in my bag. I mean, this is a flat, this might as well be a piece of paper, and yet it's gonna give me a 1x3, 1x3 softbox, which you guys know I like my 1 foot small size softboxes. I got two of these. I have a 1x3 strip, and I even have a 3 foot Octa with a grid in this case. If each one of these had a built-in speed ring, they would have been this big, right, plus this long. And I wouldn't have been able to really get them in this case so easily. So this is the Thinktank Security V3. All the links to my kit, the most of it, is down there in the description. If you guys want to click any links, they are my affiliate links, so I would appreciate it if you kind of go with that. Inside the OCF, see there's that quarter 20 right there? That quarter 20 means I can mount anything quarter 20 to this, which means I could take something like this Frio clamp, take off the shoe, right? I could take off this shoe. I'm going to try to do it as clean as I can before I lose an adapter here. And then I have a quarter 20 here, right? Which means I can basically mount a clamp to this thing and clamp it up anywhere I want if I'm in a scene that has a staircase, right? And instead of me looking for a light stand, I can just clamp this onto something, and I have a little bit of a ball head, and it's gonna be pretty light in weight, and it's gonna be easy to do it, right? So I have 4 of these because I have 4 lights plus the speed light in my backpack, which will always be on me. Then my backpack, again, has halos, speed light, lenses, camera, laptop, my power for my laptop, my USB cable, stuff like that, you know? Do you have any travel insurance, or do you just hope for the best? I am the most non-adult person ever. I kind of should get travel insurance. I don't, but I'll tell you, it's always crossed my mind, and I don't really think about it too much. Hey Seth, I know you love Profoto lights. How do you feel about Westcott lights compared to Flashpoint? I know you've done some product and tests. I think when you look at lighting lines like Flashpoint versus Godox, you have to ask yourself what you're looking for out of a lighting setup, okay? One of the things you have to realize about something like the Westcott system is it might not have as many options in it as Flashpoint. You know, Flashpoint has Evolve 100, 200s, 300s, 400s, 600s, 1200s. I think it even has a 2400 watt second pack somewhere. You have to kind of look at it like that. Westcott does have a good support system. They're a good brand. They've been around forever. You know, they are looking to bring more and more things to market that they find out there. And I will say that as far as something like firmware goes, I would be more leaning towards the Westcott than something else, because at least there's actual representatives I'm talking to over there. I can't really say that for some other brands out there that might be widely adopted, but you know, you get what you pay for in this industry for a reason. And one of the other things that really sways me with Profoto, which I've said in my A10 video, is I really like that their speed lights the color of the light matches more or less my studio strobes from Profoto. In some other systems, when you throw a speed light mixed in with the studio strobes, the speed lights tend to be bluer, so you get like blue shadows or something that's really not easy to deal with, you know? But I would say really assess what you're looking to do. Look at the system as a whole. Is it doing things that you are kind of jiving with? Does it seem compatible with your workflow? Is the pricing structure there, you know? So check that out. And if you're wondering about Westcott, check out the Westcott user groups, because there's actual Westcott people in there. The Godoxy type groups tend to just be like users. And that's fine, but you actually are getting direct brand relationships with Westcott, right? So what do you favor more? More different options, more models out there, whatever. I think I made about, if your bag gets lost, you're still able to get 1,000 here, yeah, 1,000, whatever. Okay, so what I was saying was I have 4 straight up modifiers in here. The 1x1x3s, the 1.3 by 1.3 square boxes that I like to use, and then the 1x3 strip, and the 3-foot Octa, which is huge, right? A 3-foot Octa is like our fail-safe. You know, you can get anything done with a 3-foot Octa almost, within reason. Don't break me on that. I've got random clamps which I can put things onto. I'm gonna take this off for now though. In here, I have 3 A2s, which are these little jammy guys, bada bing. I mean, look at this. So this is about a third of a stop more light. It's not even that noticeable, but look how much smaller it is and easy to pack. And they take the same modifiers. They work in the same adapter. So I went with the A2s. I got 3 of them, mixed it with my A10. I have my second A10 in my bag. So that's 5 lights I have on me, not even thinking about it, you know? Does anyone have any questions so far? So in here, I drop this. I keep a charger on top of each one with the power cable, and I tend to keep like bounce cards, wide angle adapters, you know, diffuser domes. I just keep them randomly in there, you know? In here also are my Matthews mini reverse stands. If you did not see my video on these, go watch my video on these. These are probably still my favorite travel stand. However, big asterisk here, big asterisk. If I know I'm taking a carry-on bag, I'm sorry, if I know I'm checking a bag, right? Remember I said that I have in my check-on bag, it'll be clothes and stuff I'm okay with losing. Well, I would usually put in one of those tiny Manfrotto stackable stands that folds flat. I don't always carry it on me, but I can throw it in that bag and then slide it on the side of this bag somewhere and still use it. Or sometimes I even still will slide it into this big pocket and just keep it in the front if the airlines aren't jerks about it. Sometimes they can be jerks, it depends. I find JetBlue to be one of the more easy to work with airlines when it comes to gear. I don't know why. Those stands are probably not great for my B1X. They'll be fine for a B1X if you're not hanging off of them and if you're not stressing them out. But yeah, the B1X is a heavy light. But for me, I'm running A2s, A1Xs. I mean, I'm even running, come on, articulating arms off of this, right? So this gives me a nice 20-inch arm off the stand if I need it. If you did not see my video on articulating arms, please go watch that video. In fact, almost everything you're gonna see in here, I have done a video specifically on my channel. And guys, if you are enjoying this channel, please hit subscribe. Please share the videos around and please check out the videos. I've got videos that haven't even reached 1,000 views yet, and it's really disheartening, I gotta tell you. Putting in all the work and editing and all that stuff and then it goes nowhere. Randomly throughout this bag, I have A-clamps because you can never have too many A-clamps in my opinion. I also have super clamps. Super clamps are super useful. You can put them on almost anything and you can run a 5/8 into it, meaning I can plug this arm into this super clamp and clamp it to like a part in the subway. And then I've got a stand without needing a stand, which is kind of part of the game of shooting on location for me. Is I don't want to have to pull out a stand until I have to, which is usually like my key light, and then everything else I want to try to find some other solution for, because I just don't want to have to use a stand if I don't have to. I love those Matthews stands. It doesn't fit in my Thinktank bag. I'm going to buy the V3 so I can pack the stands. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what, I think the international version is a little smaller. I will absolutely vouch that I have taken this on international flights. Amsterdam, did I take it to Tokyo? I can't remember what it took to Tokyo. I got to be honest with you, it was so long ago. But I definitely have taken this on international flights, without a doubt. So I don't know what's going on with that. Also, I keep this, which is the trifold umbrella from Lastolite. This umbrella is not easy, okay? And here's why. It has a very thick rod. This rod does not fit in all umbrella adapters. You have to make sure you get an umbrella adapter that it fits into. But once you do, what you get out of this is a 3-foot shoot-through umbrella. Once I get it out of this sleeve, it's caught on all this Velcro because it's stupid the way they did this collar. I'm not 100% sure if they still make this umbrella, to be honest with you, but look at this. Out of this tiny pack, I get a 3-foot umbrella, right? Look at this. You're shooting a model with this and it's spilling all around, gives you more of an organic light. I have this Manfrotto counterbalanced umbrella adapter with the shoe, right? So now I can put a speedlight on here, and this one actually does accept this rod. But not all umbrella adapters will accept this rod. This is a very thick rod, so it can telescope into itself. So be sure you either get the Manfrotto one or something with a large. Look at this, look how diffused I am under here. Look at this, guys. Huh? Straight light, diffused. Ooh, look at me. You know? Your setup and mine are very close to another brilliant to carry. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this isn't the quickest kit. I have a lot in here, but it's not the easiest to just grab something out of here and set up and go. Like, I need a minute, you know? It's very Jenga puzzled in here. I drive people crazy. No one is allowed to touch my kit. No one is allowed to touch my kit. When I'm done with a demo or a job, if there's assistants around, they do not touch my kit. They bring it to me, but I have to put it back together. In fact, tonight, I'm going to be putting this back together, I promise. It's going to be a lot of fun for me, let me tell you. And I also keep 2 of these Profoto soft bounces. In a pinch, this thing will act like a strip light. It's awesome. You can just bang this right onto your light, and you've got basically a strip light feel in a very easy to compact down type deal. Or let's say you're shooting on camera strobe. Well, yeah, you can just throw this on there and you get a little bit better of a situation with it. What I tend to do is throw the dome diffuser in there, and then you got yourself, look at this. Actually, I'll put on my shadow side. Look at the shadow side right here. Look at this. Take it away. And this is with just the modeling light. Now imagine, right, strobe-wise. Nice hair light, separation light, dramatic strip light, an over and an under. Like I have 2 of them, over, under, really good for athletic portraits, stuff like that. All right, any other questions, guys, while I'm getting into this? There's 94 people in this chat. Welcome, thank you for joining me last minute. Please don't forget to hit like, it really helps this channel out. It's something free that you guys can do to help this channel out. Please, please hit like and hit subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to get this channel up. I am the smallest channel in this game, without a doubt. So I would like to get this channel together. All right, let me keep going. So I have bongo ties. If you don't know what bongo ties are a really easy to carry on you type thing. They are a, I don't want to say industrial, but they're a pretty heavy rubber band with a wooden nub on it that will let you wrap things around, and then you just put it over and you can just start, like you can actually hold up a speed light to a pole with this, right? And they take up no room in your bag, right? Really easy, really, really easy. The other thing is more articulating arms. I also have a floor stand in here. A floor stand, I don't want to dig it out because it's all the way at the bottom, but a floor stand is just what you think it is. It is a low to the ground stand, doesn't carry a lot of weight, but I can put a speed light on there or a reflector on there or something and keep it low. So if I got to blast the background for some light, I can do that. If I need to put a light low in underneath someone's face for a fill, I can do that. Sometimes I'll even put the 3-foot Octa on that, and the diffuser on the Octa will be a fill. Or I'll put one of the other soft boxes on the floor stand, and then I'll just take a real quick A-clamp and this, and right here, I'll have like a tabletop bounce in the middle of the street. You know, you have to realize a lot of the times I pack a kit, I pack it with the idea that I might not have anyone near me to help. I need things to be able to be gripped. I need things to be able to be rigid for me to hold them with my other hand. Hence this guy right here. Thank you so much, Ramo. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys all for the super chats. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. If you are going to donate, you might want to think about that coffee link in the description. They take way less of a cut. I'm just saying. And I don't know what it is for you guys to put money into YouTube, so just letting you guys know. What ISO are you comfortable when you're using speed lights to determine if I need a larger light? So this is case by case. I try to use as low of an ISO as possible. That's the point of me bringing my own lighting. But let's say I'm in an environment that I want to bring up the ambient light. I'll get to 400, you know, or let's say I'm really stressing out my speed lights at full power and I'm running out of battery and I don't have anywhere to charge or whatever. I might creep up to 400 and just relax the power on my speed light so I can keep shooting a little longer, you know? I try not to break 800. If I'm at a place where I'm at 800 ISO, I assess the situation, and usually I realize my lights could go closer, I could take a piece of diffusion off, you know, things like that. So, waiting for Seth to pull out into the switch. Seth, have you tried the new foldable softbox from Profoto? If you're talking about the Click Octa, I have one, but it doesn't really fit with this case. What I usually do with that is I'll throw it in my backpack for a very casual kit. If I'm just taking like a camera and one speed light and we're gonna go hang out for the day, or I'm hanging out with some girl and she just wants to do some quick shots, I'll do that. But it's not really like like a primary, I need to have that with me kind of thing. I really do like the OCF Mark II. And the other thing about the OCF Mark II that I didn't get into is you got these, right? This 5/8 mount, I don't even know if you guys can see this 5/8 mount right here, can go either on my A2s and give them basically a stand adapter for the A2, or it's a stand adapter for the OCF thing. So what I do is I piece this together really quick, and then you basically are able to just put it on your stand, you know. We unscrew this, bada bing. I'm able to put it on my stand, I tighten it down, I throw a light in there, and now I pretty much can take this speed ring and make it whatever modifier I want. So right now I have a light on a stand. Let's say I don't even want a modifier. I can put a light on a stand, no problem. That's why I put the adapters by themselves, because the adapters on the lights make no sense to me. If I put them on the OCF adapter, what that does for me is allows me to not only have them on the stand, but now I'm able to put modifiers on them. Also, what they let you do is if I turn this on and I put on you see how there's no spill happening? Because this is recessed. See how it takes a good amount of spin for you to even see the modeling light? So being recessed gives me more light control. Little things, little things. When you're out in the field and there's nothing else but what you have on you, every inch is a mile. Anything you can get is a mile, you know? That's the way I look at it. Okay. So it's a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick at all. It's very cool. I actually used it in the Profoto A2 video on Adorama. It's a good tool. I just have a different workflow. I don't need to have a handle on my thing for this particular kit. All right. What thing looks like Godox stuff? Are you about to troll me now? Because that's what I really need. Also in this kit, I have just random stuff to mount on. You know, I keep extra arms, extra umbrella adapters. If I dig to the bottom of this kit, I keep on finding stuff. Over here, though, I have gels. I keep specifically cut gels for these lights, right? So instead of me needing a full sheet, I'll cut a circle. Whoop, hold on. Oh, things are just flying. I'll cut the circle, I'll put it on my A2, and then I'll just put the diffuser dome on it and it holds it. Done. I don't need a giant square. None of this stuff looks like Godox stuff because actually it's metal. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not hating on it, but this is all metal. This isn't a plastic clamp that I'm resting my entire kit on. If you take a $12 plastic clamp to a shoot and it breaks and you have no way to mount your modifier to your lights, you're out of luck, right? I would rather have something I can always depend on, not worry about. I invest in my gear so I know I can get my job done without having to worry about the gear. If I fail at the job, it should be on me, not because something broke. It isn't metal. You're not right. It's not metal. The S2 Pro bracket is plastic, buddy. Man. Regardless, everything that you are putting a light onto should be in the best quality you can possibly think of, because no matter what you do with your camera, lenses, or lights, you're resting your kit on that stuff. And if you get quality stuff, you won't have to worry about it failing, and you won't have to rebuy it, and you won't have to worry about your gear hitting the ground. There's the fact that these are metal, these stand adapters, give me a, and listen to this, that's actual geared bearings. The geared bearings mean that it can handle a certain amount of pivot weight. That's what you want. And what I really love about this thing is, let's say I want to put something massive on this thing. I wouldn't have to put all the stress on this. What I can do is fold this, use this socket, and then all the pivot point is no longer a stress for it for like a 5-foot Octa. So it's pretty awesome. Any plans for more A2 and less speedlights? I did do that already. So I have 3 A2s and 2 A10s in here. My other A10s, I keep one in, so in my big kit, my B10X Plus kit over here, I keep 2 more of these, right? These are A1Xs. They're still awesome lights. They speak in the same ecosystem. They match my studio strobes. And let's say I have 4 B10X Pluses in my big kit. If I run out of lights, if there's some location I'm doing something, if I'm trying to microlight something, if there's an extra color I want to throw in there with a gel, I just throw this in there and I don't even worry about it. And then my B10X kit, my mid-range kit, which is actually at home right now, I have another one of these in there. So I'm putting speedlights in every kit as auxiliary, fail-safes, and extras. And I can't tell you enough, you know, just having the peace of mind that you're not out of lights when you're trying to do a whole scene is a really good feeling and a good place to be. So yeah, let me put this back. All right, man, this thing is already taken apart. In here also, I have, which I'm gonna tell you right now, when I first saw these hit the market, I was like, I think these are gonna be kind of, they're gonna be lies. They're gonna be nothing good. And then I got them, and they're the best thing ever. I love these things. So this is a Profoto grid set for the A series. This is awesome. I use these all the time now. It's crazy. I didn't think I would, but I do. And you can kind of see how they really, look at how much they limit. Look at that. Look at how clean that gets. It's really, really nice. This is a 20 degree. I think I have a 10 degree. You have a 10 degree over here. And then what you can do is you can actually stack them and then twist them a little bit so that they're even tighter as you go. You can go and kind of customize them a little bit. I really, really like it. All right. So this, oh, let me turn this off. The other thing I really like, by the way, about the A2 that I was really worried about the A10s was, at first I was kind of like, oh man, I wish this head was zoomable. And then I started packing them and using them more. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of like that I don't have a moving part in here, because anybody that has speed lights that's traveled a lot knows like maybe one of the only things that breaks is the head or the zoom head. Well, not having to worry about a zoom head coming off of the track has been really nice. So now I keep this in the middle of my kit where there's no vibrations happening, and I can put these more towards the bottom or the sides and not have to worry so much. Also, this lens on here is denser and more frosted than the Fresnel here, which they hit differently. This is even, but this one hits diffused to match the hit that you get from the studio strobes. So it kind of doesn't look like a different type of light coming into the scene, if that makes sense. So it's pretty good. Seth, I picked up my first A1 used. I love it. I should invest in another one, A series. You know what's funny is the A1 original, as much as I went all in on the A1 original. Real quick story. The A1 came out, and Cliff Hausner, the legend Cliff Hausner, who is a Profoto representative and just a straight legend, I mean, no joke. He came to me with these A1s, and he knew I was using a lot of SB910s from Nikon at the time, tons of AA batteries, battery packs, whatever. And he goes, you're gonna wanna sell these, I'm telling you, look at this. And I'm like, man, $1,000 speed light, I don't know, Cliff, I don't know. And he said, borrow them for the weekend. I took them, and that weekend I actually ended up having a magazine job. It was a real tough job, but I used the A1s. That Monday, I put in an order for 5 of them. What bothered me about the original A1 was that the original head on the A1 wasn't as stiff. It didn't lock down as easy, so you had to be more careful with how you put a modifier on it. Ever since the first version, I've never had a problem. So the A1 original, you should be able to get pretty cheap in the used market, but the A1X and beyond is really where you want to go if you're looking at speed lights. Oh, man. Perhaps you already said it. What's the weight of the case with all the things in it? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. This is a redone kit, and I took a lot of stuff out. And the reason I took a lot of stuff out was I needed a lot of stuff to mount shoes onto things. But with the A2, I don't need to do that. So I took a lot of adapter grip out of here. So technically it's lighter. It's still heavy though, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, a lot of it's just straight up metal. I mean, this is just straight up metal, you know? Is what it is. But yeah, so, oh yeah, that's the other thing. So aside from this, I also keep wide angle adapters for the speed lights. These are awesome. If you are in the Profoto A series system, these wide angle adapters are friggin' awesome. They hit clean. And you know, a bunch of gels, tools. I keep extra tools in here. You know, like I keep tools to like tighten up my stands and things like that while I'm on the road. I keep extra pieces of cinefoil, some offcuts from weird gels that I have laying around, because this still fits like 3 speed lights, you know? And then in the front pocket, which I don't even utilize fully, the front pocket is, I have 3 packs of gel kits. So I have, what do I have? Like probably 1 correction gel kit and a bunch of mixed gel kits. So I probably have about 50 colors I can swap between on the fly. And I'm pretty happy with that. No knives in the bag because you can't fly with them. So I actually use these multi-tools that have no blades. So they're just like, you know, if I need like, you know, something to grip with, I got it, you know. So, you know, it's, and what's really, really exciting, and again, I'm not trying to like, listen, you guys use whatever gear you want, but what's really exciting is Profoto has a lot more coming out for the A2, and I'm just excited. I think there's gonna be more grid options. I think there's gonna be a lot of different modifiers coming out. I'm really excited to try them all out. The soft bounces have been great for me personally. What's funny is Daniel hated these forever, and then he saw me use them once and I showed him a couple setups and he's like, oh, okay, I get it now. And now he's kind of into them. So this wasn't something that took off too well, this soft bounce, but it packs down so small, dude. Like it's crazy to me. Oh, I put it upside down. It's crazy to me that you just don't throw these in your bag and forget about them, you know? It's just nuts. The wide angle adapter is discontinued. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure they just don't give it to you with the speed lights anymore, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it on your own. I could be wrong, but if it is, that sucks. I'll be on eBay tonight. I love that wide angle adapter. No problem, Ryan. You're very welcome, and thank you guys for joining me. I was going to shoot a little bit. I don't know if you guys want to shoot. I did want to break off some rust on my demo game a little bit. If you guys want to shoot, let me know. But if you guys have any questions about my kit, let me know. I did want to just use this kit tonight, although now I'm going to have to piece it back together because I took it apart for you guys. You guys. All right. It's complete, right? Whenever you pack lights, you have to worry about three things: power, grip, and modifier. Every light has three concerns with it, right? And the other thing I try to carry, if I have a carry-on bag and then I also have the checked bag, in the checked bag, I'll usually try to sneak in a 4-foot umbrella, like a 42-inch umbrella with a diffuser, and then that's my big modified light if I ever need it. But for the most part, I can get away with shooting through something like this, and I'm pretty gold, you know? The name of the game with location is use whatever you can around you to your advantage. And remember, whatever you're doing there is not going to stay there forever. Like if it just means someone holding a light for 5 seconds, then that is your setup and you're going to run with it. You know what I mean? You want to shoot? Okay. Yeah, we can shoot something. Why not? What time am I at? I've been rambling for 40 minutes here. You guys are crazy. Thank you guys to everybody who sent me stuff on Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate it. The coffee link, I think, is the most efficient way to contribute financially if you want. It's just the minimalist amount of cut, and I think it's no fees to you guys. So I think it's the best way to go about it. Okay, so let's do some stuff. Let's get this recalibrated. There, that's only completely crooked. Perfect. That's what we would call Daniel Norton straight. You got to see Dan hang something. It's like, I love the guy, but man, it's like one of his shoes is off sometimes. All right, let's do this. All right, that looks a little straight. Okay, what's going on, Joyce? How are you? Would love to see the difference in the grids. Okay. To do that, I would basically have to shoot the wall. You're not really going to see the difference in the grids on a model because they're a three-dimensional surface. The grids are more about, maybe we can see what happens. Thanks, DoubleClick, I appreciate it. All right. So lo and behold, I'm going to be at ImagingUSA on January 22nd, I believe, the Monday, 23rd, 22nd, one of those days. I'm going to be on stage for 600 people. And I'm going to be teaching small flash. And they are actually going to have C-stands there. So I'm going to cheat my brains out tonight, and I'm going to use a C-stand. And I'm mainly going to cheat a C-stand because it's here, and I'd rather not use travel stands if I don't have to. I'm not a fan of using travel stands all the time, but I keep them on me just to have them, you know? All right, let's throw an articulating arm on this guy, though. And when I put the articulating arm on, I'm going to take off this cold shoe because now that I have the A2, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about adapting a shoe, which is one of my favorite parts of that light. What I really also like about that light is it feels kind of effortless. The A2 lets me do things like high-speed sync without even feeling it. It's really clean. I haven't seen the light fluctuate in exposure or color while I've hammered into that thing. So I wouldn't have bought 3 of them if it didn't perform the way I wanted it to. So there's that. All right, let's put this on here. Oh, you know what, guys? I need you guys to vote on something, all right? I need you guys to vote. I recently acquired the Nikon 50mm f1.2. This is a swanky lens. Or should I shoot with my old faithful, the 24-120 f4? So in the chat, either type in 50mm or type in 120. Let me know if you want to, which one you guys want me to go with. Mike, I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, Mike. I haven't seen you in a while. I know we haven't been live on Adorama too much lately. That's my fault. Oh. 50, 50, 120, 50, 50, 50, 50. Everybody's doing 50s. Everybody's doing 50s. 50s. Okay, we'll do the 50. We'll do the 50. I guess I'm getting a workout tonight. All right. How about, I'm kind of curious what we want to do here. I had no plan going into this. Okay, so let's talk about shooting with an on-camera speed light and then taking it off of camera, okay? I think that's what I want to do. I think I have my A10 right here. All right, so this is a Profoto A10. I'll even put the dome diffuser on it. Why not? And this is a Nikon Z9, and this is a 50mm f1.2. This could not get more higher end in the full frame market if I tried. So, and right now someone's gonna write, no, Sony A1. No, Sony A1's just more expensive. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, I'm gonna plug this in to capture one. So what's the first thing we want to do? What's the first thing we want to do when we're in a scene before we even light anything? What do we want to do? What's something we want to do? Check my focus? What about it? So, first of all, I have a giant light over here. So we're gonna be dealing with a lot of ambient light, right? If I shut this light off, you're gonna see that we're already dark outside. Check this out. It's dark out there. What I have on is the room lights, which are LED lights, which is what you're seeing filling the room. But outside, I have no fluctuating light, which is good. So at least I'm in a controlled environment in that regard. Sometimes when we do demos in here and the light is going up and down outside, it's a bit of a challenge, right? Okay, so black frame, right. So let me just make sure I even have the stream set up right. Okay, you guys should be seeing my tether. Although this is a mirrorless camera, and with a mirrorless camera, I'm able to do things like show you what I'm looking at. So if I kill the flash even at f4, we're barely seeing Sheila, right? At f2.8, she's there. If I take it to f5.6, she's just barely there. So 6.3, and that's with the flash killed, right? So that's what I'm looking at as far as an ambient light. So I already know that if I take a shot without the strobe, I'm looking at a black frame. But let's just, for the kids in the back who don't know how to act, this is for them. Oh, I'm shooting JPEG like an idiot. Hang on, guys. Everybody boo me in the chat. Boo me. I made a mistake. Boo. Say boo, Seth. Boo, Seth. Boo. All right, let's kill the strobe. Let's take another shot. And now we're at raw. This is a raw file, right? So if I go, and I didn't even try to focus, but if I take my exposure slider, look at this. Look how many stops I got here. Did I even focus? I did focus, so I focused. Look at that. Got her sharp and black. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this on-camera strobe. I'm going to put it into TTL. And I'm just going to pray. This is remember, this is a top of the line Nikon Z9. Top of the line 50mm f1.2. Top of the line Profoto A10. What could go wrong here, right? What could go wrong? You guys are just gonna love this shot right out of camera. Watch how amazing this is gonna be. You're gonna be like, man, you don't even need anything in that case. You're gonna be like, this is it, Seth. You're gonna be like, this is gonna be amazing, amazing, amazing. Actually, let me move her because I'm gonna be looking at drainage pipes in the background here. Oh man, perfect, perfect. What happened here? Well, guess what? It is not wrong. It's not wrong. You just don't like the style. I'm gonna say something I say all the time that a lot of other YouTubers stole from me and say verbatim, and I'm gonna say that with shade right now. Shade thrown. Listen, in here you have detail in the shadows. You have detail in your highlights. Look, that's detail in the highest of highlights. This is detail in the shadows. Detail, look. This is not incorrect. It did its job. It got you an exposure that didn't blow out your highlights, didn't negative out, completely zero out your shadows, and gave you an even midtone. What you don't like is the style. What you don't like is the style. So, what can you do? Well, you can either try to change the direction of it, because changing the power of your strobe is not going to do anything here. If I lowered the power of this strobe, it's just going to be underexposed. That's it. People kind of confuse the intensity and harshness, or I should say hardness of a light with the power of the light. The power of the light is just to get you back to the exposure you set in your camera. If I'm at f8, I need the power of my light to fluctuate to get me to f8. But the look of the light is not the power of the light. It is not the exposure, okay? Well, I would take her outside if it wasn't dead night outside. So we're dealing with something. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bounce it off of this board. Why? Because I can. Because I can, okay? So I'm gonna point this up, still in TTL. TTL, still doing it. I'm in matrix metering, the whole thing. Let's go back into this. Let me get this C-stand out of the way. I am full, there's an ocean of gear here. It's driving me crazy. I'm gonna hold it over my head in a 45, like about here, right? So I'm like 45. And remember, this becomes my light source. So if I go like this, what am I doing here? Oh, shoot. Guys, I'm an idiot. Again, I'm in the wrong metering mode. That was with spot metering. This is with matrix metering. I'm going to do my video on, what is going on here? I am not in TTL. I am not in TTL. Now we're going to do TTL. I'm an idiot. Oh, God, good thing I'm doing a practice demo here. There she is. Oh, that was embarrassing, guys. So I had the light in manual after I did the TTL exposure. Sorry, guys. So look, that is direct flash. That is bounced off the card. But with the card, I can do a couple things. I can actually shape the light. Instead of going just overhead, I can kind of shape her a little bit. The struggles of live streaming. Hey, what's up, Mosman? How you doing? So if I bounce it off this way, it's not going to be the prettiest light either, but you'll see a different style to it. So instead of it being just like an overhead evenness, which is nicer, you can sculpt her a different way if you'd like. You can actually see, really, look at the shadow under the chin, look at the inside the corner of the eye, right, under the brow, right? You're seeing a totally different style of light happening here. Yeah, get all the mistakes out of the way right now. You know what it is? My number one problem with myself is I do so much setting up that I forget to check my settings before I get going. If I'm not doing the stream myself, I'm okay, I don't make mistakes. Luckily, when I go on stage and imaging, I won't be setting up anything except the shoot, so that's good. All right, but what I wanted to do, go get it, Mike. What I wanted to do was use my environment. I actually have a white ceiling here, right? So I could use it. Let's take a look at what that looks like. If I just bounce it off of the ceiling itself, period, we're gonna have a pretty big open light. And it looks really nice, really clean, right? But what happens if I take this and in between the bounce from the ceiling, I put a diffuser? Well, then this becomes a 3-foot light source bathing down on Sheila. So let's take a look at this. Look at that. So you can actually see the difference, right? This is TTL working. TTL completely maxed out my light on this one, but it's not overexposed. But look at the difference. Also, notice how she's warmer here. Why is she warmer? Because the light went through this strainer over here. This diffuser warms up the light. You can counteract that with your white balance if you want. I kind of like the little bit of warmth sometimes. It makes skin look kind of alive, you know, we like living people. Oh my gosh, these two frames are gonna live on in infamy, guys. Delete, look at that, see how easy we live? So we got a nice even light, or we have a more of a sculpted light. What's the difference? Well, if the light isn't diffused and softened, because they're two different things, you're gonna have contrast. When you take away that diffusion and softener, look at how much different it gets. You lose that shape of the face. But what could that help you with? Well, let's say you want to minimize some textures on someone's face. You could do it, right? Now, let's say, you guys still with me? This chat went dead, or am I not live anymore? So now what we could do is a couple things. We could, can you provide a link to the folding diffuser? It's in the description. Most of the gear I'm talking about is in that description tonight, in the video. So what we could do is we could mount a light to here, take it off camera, right? Well, if we do that, first of all, I'm going to take this light off here. So we're only using a trigger. Let's do that. And let's grab some sort of modifier here. So I'm going to use, when you use TTL, is it 0 or do you use FEC? What do you mean FEC? What are you talking about when you refer to FEC? Are you talking about exposure compensation? Thank you, Karen K. I appreciate that. Thank you. I use TTL at 0. Without giving it any heads up, I want to see where it's at and what it's reading from. I will use TTL in spot metering more often than matrix because I'm really usually lighting a smaller zone than the whole scene, and I want to get the reading off of just that small zone, right? All right, I'm going to throw an A2 in here. Let's grab an A2. I'm going to put this into group A. And so this will be my key light. Bada bing, bada boom, right? So because it's so small and light, I can really put this articulating on however I want. However I want, right? So I can kind of just position it and just freeze it there, which is super useful. I can even see with the modeling light what's happening, right? So if I did turn off this light and I went into, you can see that's the grid, no grid. See how, look at her chest plate, watch. Look at that. Completely limits that strobe, right? So I have all these options. That was the 10 degree. If I put the 20 degree on there, right? Look at that. So let's take a shot for shot, right? So this is just a raw strobe Raw strobe without, you know what I forgot to do? Put a trigger on my light, that would help. How do you guys like this nice twilight blue? You like it? Yeah, the grids, man, one thing you can never have enough of is control of the light. I mean, a light can always explode anywhere you want, but if you have like control, you really got a lot of leeway to do whatever you want to do. All right, so I'm in A group. I'm going to put it into TTL, and we're going to, we're going to do this raw. So this is a raw light, no grid. I'm going to shoot from back here. Oh, I'm in the wrong channel because I'm an idiot. Oh, guys, I'm batting 1,000 today. Look at this. Good thing, I told you I was rusty. I told you I was rusty. All right. So, we're going to shoot with just the raw light. I'm going to shoot with her torso just so that we have it. So this is raw light, just straight raw light. Okay? Now, if I put that grid in there, let's do a 20-degree grid. Put that grid in there. You can see even the background drops, right? Look how much no spread happening, right? So let's say I'm in an area where I don't want to affect anything but a certain zone, like just my model. If I want to do something super moody, right? I can take this light now and I can really, really just give her this noir overhead drop. Let's move you here so I'm not looking at that background so much, right? So now I can do like a bit of a 45, not even a 45, just subtly off center, but overhead. You know what I mean? So let's take a look. So you get that noir type look to her, right? If I take the grid off, you're going to see this light start hitting that like all over the place. See how the background comes up? No background, background, right? So if I put in the 10 degree, where's the 10 degree? Where's the 10 degree? 10 degree grid. 10 degree. Oh, this is going to be, she's barely lit right now. She barely lit right now. I'm even going to turn her a little bit, and I'll shoot up. You can really see how really, really tight that goes, right? Now, I take it off and I do just a straight up light. You start getting the background. It starts spreading more, right? I mean, even look at the definition you get here. Look at the definition you get here versus here. Whoop. Whoop. Right? Subtle things like that. What you could actually do is light your subject, get a nice clean light on them, and then just grid light their necklace and really kick it hard. Like maybe they got an amulet on of some kind, or maybe like a bunch of diamonds like this. You can hit it with a nice gridded, really sear it in light, you know? Torso at 10 degree. That is the torso at 10 degree, isn't it? No, it's not. No, it's not. All right, 10 degree torso. 10 degree torso. So you can, I mean, it's literally like a stage light, right? So let's say I take it and I put it, I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. If I take it and I put it, the very, very edge of the grid, the very, very edge of the grid down the middle of her face. I'm talking, we're gonna have like some sunken in eyes, the whole dramatic thing. Actually, let me straighten you up a little bit. And I'm doing this with the modeling light. That's where the modeling light really helps you out, is you can actually see where you're spilling that light everywhere, you know? So, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll just kick the strobe and I'll watch where it's spraying, right? So if we just put it really just the edge of that light, oh, hold on. If we just the edge of the light, whoop, there we go. You can see, right? Now we're doing something completely different that you wouldn't be able to do without the grid, really. Really getting just the bones going. To use different metering modes and using speed lights and studio strobes, I use different metering modes on the situation more than the strobe itself. If I'm really going for individual zones that I'm like a background versus a model versus this, or I'm not really taking into account the ambient light so much, you know, spot metering is a lot better to me than matrix. How long would you expect the battery to last the modeling light? I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even tell you. I try not to have the modeling lights on all the time. I'll say that much. But I mean, look what you're really able to do. Now let's say I'm in the field and I got my reflector here. Well, now watch what's going to happen. It's a very tight light. We're really going to be running into super minimal spread here, but look at what just banging the light into this is just from, basically what's happening is the light is going straight down, not even going near her face as much, going more so directly into the diffuser and reflecting back up and giving us this type of look. I think a grid plus a snoot is a little overkill in my opinion. And you know, snoots are really specific, more than you'd think. But let's say I do this shot again, but I drop the diffuser down lower, right? Now watch. Now, instead of complete black, instead of blown to death, we are creating a control here where we're getting the look of the first one, but we're breaking up that contrast in the third one. Have you ever had an experience when you jump using TCM on flashpoint? Only happens in color stable. Have you had any experience with exposure jump? Honestly, I'll be very honest with you. I've always had some sort of TTL to manual conversion during flashpoint Godox that has always been a little overexposed compared to the TTL that I locked it in at. I'm not really sure why, but that's what it is. The imaging class will not be streamed, no. It will not be streamed. Now, what I'm curious about, because this light isn't even at full power yet, and it is being choked to death by this grid. What I want to know is what happens if I take the look of the first one and we diffuse it, right? So we keep it tight, but now we're breaking up the light. Let's take a look at what that looks like. We probably will actually have to open up our aperture a little bit, but we'll find out together. This is what we're doing today, baby. We're just doing it. Let's take a look. Very nice. Ooh, that's nice. So this is grid through the diffuser. Yes, it warms up, but look at how nice that looks. It's so nice. Ooh, that's clean. Look at how clean that is. And every bit of detail in that highlight. Every bit of detail in that highlight. Damn, that's clean. Damn, that's clean. Now I'm gonna say, hey Seth, what happens if we take, well, why am I, you guys don't care if the light's off, right? I don't care, so you don't care, right? What if we take, I don't know, this stool right here, right? Let's say, this is part of small flash. This is part of being on location, using what you got around you. I just happen to be in a studio. And what happens if I do this and I put a reflector in like that? Now I'm going to go through a diffuser, keep it tight, and then fill in the shadow just a little bit. Let's take a look at this together. If I go down, you guys go down. That's how it goes, baby. That's how it goes. Nice. The underneath, look at under the nose, under the neck, right? This is where you're really, really dialing in that light. This is where you don't have to go, I'll just dodge it in post. No, we clean it here. Really, really nice. This sounds like the Thinktank red whips. What do you mean red whips? I always switch to manual TTL. I just get more consistent results. Well, yeah, your manual will always be, all right, let's talk about this. Manual will always be more consistent than TTL. Every time you use TTL, it is meter reading that one time and then going again and again and again every shot. If I was wearing a white coat right now, all white, and you did a TTL shot of me, your reading would be different than when I drop the coat and have this black shirt on with the Queen of all queens on it. Because it's going to be reading less light reflecting back from the pre-flash. So every little subtle difference it recognizes, it will adjust for it. What I will say, and again, I'm not trying to like brand over brand, but TTL with Profoto tends to kind of recognize that a little bit. And I see way less fluctuations in TTL with that system. But TTL in general can't be consistent when every time it takes a shot, it's metering for that shot. So it's kind of re-guessing again a little bit, you know? I actually really like this, this tight light I got going on here. I kind of dig it. What do you think you guys like this? How about we take a look at what it looks like if she turns to the side? You guys want to do that? Let's turn her to the side a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, she needs a little help. She's getting old. She's got, you know, bone stuff going on. Let's see what this looks like. Do you feel TTL usually underexposes slightly in the first try? Not really. I will say there have been systems in the past that will rather underexpose rather than blow out. But what TTL kind of misses is the super hard reflecting, right? So if you have someone with very oily skin, if you're shooting something metallic or something like that, all that hard reflecting back can usually trick TTL. If you have a backlit subject, it absolutely fools TTL sometimes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know what this is going to look like, guys. Oh, let's take a look. All right, so we're nailing her forehead. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of the forehead getting blitzed like that. So what's something I can do? I can lower this light, and I can pivot it more forward so that it's less to hit her forehead. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pivot just a little bit this light more on an angle in. So what I'm aiming for here is more eyebrow, under the eye, orbital bone type situation here, okay? Then the other thing what I'm gonna do is instead of holding this flat, we're gonna pivot it a little bit. That way the light is traveling in a direction a little bit. All right, let's try that. Let's try that. Saturday Night Lights, baby. Oh, a little better. You guys see the difference in the hot spot? You see how it's really hot on her hairline? I don't know if this translates on the stream, but do you guys see this? Well, I appreciate you joining me, Rich, and I appreciate everybody hitting like. It's basically as many viewers as many likes, and I can't thank you guys enough. Do you guys see the difference there? I can't tell if the stream shows it or not. Last Light doesn't even exist anymore. Last Light is formerly Manfrotto now. So the moral of my story on this one is, do you guys see how like just subtle changes, knowing the way light would act, changes it enough that you're not messing around in post trying to make something happen. You can make the light you want to make, you know? Cool, cool. All right, so we did a really, really tight light. Let's, I don't know. What time is it? Let me just check. Is there any questions, guys? I actually really like that shot on the right. I like really seeing how deep her eye socket is. I like really seeing that cheek line. All right, so now, since I've got speed lights, I'm gonna throw this on the back wall because you see how that back wall is its own world. It's dark back there. Where there is no light, I can put light. So I'm gonna put this into group C. I don't know why I'm just throwing it into group C. I'm going to zoom the head so it's not spreading everywhere. I wanna make this tight as well, okay? So let's turn this head on. And I'm just gonna throw it on the floor because why not? Why not? We're going crazy here. All right, I'm gonna put it into manual and I'm gonna throw it down, I don't know. I'll put it at like 5, why not? Why not? The kids like 5, we'll put it at 5. So I have it on the ground, pointed up. Let's take a look at what just that light by itself looks like so we know what we're dealing with, right? So C gets turned on and we're just gonna take a look at what that looks like. Remember, it's a light blitzing onto a wall. Actually, did I zoom the head? All right, let's take a look at what just this light is doing. Okay. I don't like that I'm seeing the corner of the room as much. So what I could do is throw a grid on that thing. You want to throw a grid on it? How much discussion can you have in front of your client and your model and your art director? What do you mean, like, without it being unprofessional? I'm not sure what you mean there. I'm going to try this with a grid, and I'll tell you why, because I kind of want to keep the style that we got going. I kind of want to keep this like really tight look to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over and I'm going to shoot it. Are you guys, what are we on here? Oh, I'm going to move it over and shoot it this way across the wall. I'm going to try to do like a bit of a blade type of look to it. We'll see what happens. Let's see what this looks like. It's probably going to be super dim. So because I put something that's going to choke the light. Remember, this is a grid. It's going to choke that light down, right? So I'm going to add 2 stops because it's a pretty tight grid and we're just going to take a look at what it looks like. Let's take a look. All right. So now I'm going to shoot more towards, actually, what am I doing? I'm going to do this. That's my shot. Let's see what that looks like. I don't really like it. I don't really like it, but just for the sake of argument, let's just put it all together and see what we get. I'm not a real big fan of it, though, I'll tell you. I tell you, man, I don't really like it, man. Let's take a look. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really into it. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's kind of just like out of nowhere. I'd rather it be like a texture, which would mean I'd have to throw it through something like some sort of grate or, I don't know. I like it dark, right, light, left. Yeah, I guess so, but it's just kind of not doing much. But look how nice that light looks, right? Look how nice this light looks. just out of curiosity, let's try this without the diffuser in there. Just out of curiosity. I'm going to take off the backlight. I'm going to TTL this front light. Oh, that's no grid, dude. I mean, I'm sorry, that's no diffuser. Now, this is no diffuser, diffuser. Look at the difference. Except the light. What aperture am I at? I'm at 6.3. Look at the difference just from that diffuser. Yeah, the diffuser warms it up, absolutely changes the color. It needs to be red. No, I like that it's monochrome. That's one of the things I love about shooting with Sheila is that she's always got this monochrome thing going on. I like it. I don't know, guys. Do we like it? Do we like it? Also, keep in mind, I can't move Sheila's head. Typically when you have a hard light source, you can cheat a model's face up into the light and it'll kind of make it work a little better. In fact, I really don't want to move that light though. What do I want to do here? Kind of like bleh. Yeah, I do a gobo, but like I don't really feel like making one right now. I'll be honest with you. I am like running out of steam quick here. You know what? Let's try this. This is for whoever asked to go red. I'm just gonna smash some red gel underneath this grid. And we're gonna make her red. We'll make her red and the background that gray, that clean gray look. Let's do it, why not? This is for whoever asked for a red gel, because I'm just kind of chilling at this point. Let's do this. So I'm gonna turn off that backlight. I'm going to turn off that backlight. We're going to throw it down. I'm going to go into A. I'm going to put on the monolight so I can see what I'm doing. Let's take a look. Oh, man, it's not even like that red. Okay, it's not even that red, but it's okay. Let's turn on the C group. That backlight. Let's take a look. Man, it's not even that red, huh? I'm going to do it like this, though. Let me see what it looks like this. I don't really like that backlight, man. It's just like obnoxious at this point. Yeah, I'm not into it. These shots kind of suck, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. These shots kind of suck. But this is what you kind of do, because what if I threw this into the mix with a client, right? They'd be like, what are you doing? But now in my head, I'd be like, that wouldn't work. Let's turn left, blah, 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 blah. How would I increase the red intensity? I'd probably double up the gel, honestly. I think this probably wasn't covering the whole gel, was it? So if I take this and I double this over, these shots suck. These shots suck, and this stream is rough, dude. This is a rough stream. Let's see if this made it any redder. I'm going to turn off the backlight. And because I doubled up the gel, I'm going to kick up the power of the key light. So let's do this. No backlight. That's redder. That's muy redder. Muy redder. Muy redder. Let's take out that backlight up. Let's see. So now my key light, so check out what's going on with this key light. it is being choked by a 10-degree grid, really, really tight. It has 2 layers of dense gel. Both of those gels together probably knocks out about 3 stops, maybe more. Then you've got the 2-stop diffuser it's going through. So this freaking little light is being choked out of probably 7 stops of light. What I'm gonna do is open up my aperture to f5, and I'm gonna lower that backlight down, because if I don't, it'll explode because I opened up my aperture, right? So I'm gonna lower that backlight by 2 stops. Now let's take a look. Boom, she's brighter without having to worry about the light being out of light. I don't mind it, except I don't know about that backlight, man. That backlight just is not hitting for me. Not hitting for me, man. Is not hitting for me, man. Wonder if I did it like this. A little more just symmetrical, maybe. Or like just a dot, maybe. So you open up, yeah, why wouldn't I? If I open up my aperture, all I'm sacrificing is depth of field. This shot, depth of field is not that critical to me. ISO will always degrade your shot. Let's take a look. Whoop, I just banged the light with my thing. Let's take a look. A little more tolerable. A little more tolerable. You want to do a kicker? We could do a kicker. You want to do a kicker? This guy wants to do a kicker, guys. Should we do a kicker? Let's do a kicker. You can't tell, I am losing. I am like running out of steam here. I tell you what we'll do for a kicker, because that guy wants to do a kicker. What I'll do for a kicker, what I'll do for a kicker is I'm going to throw this onto a stand, and then we're going to throw in a soft bounce. So you guys will get a kind of a look at that. Rich wants a kicker. Let's do a kicker. Rich Formica. Formica like the fake wood stuff Formica? I'm just tired, guys, and it's actually getting really, really hot in here. All right, so let's take a look at this shot. Which side are we going to throw in that rim light? Are we going to do it on the back of our head, or are we going to do it more on the facial side? So if you want to do the face side, type face. If you want to do the hair side, do hair. Face or hair, type it in the chat now. Face or hair. All right, we got a bunch of hair sides. All right, let's do hair. Let's do the hair, man. This is your shot, not mine, kids. I'm gonna turn this on, make sure it's in the right everything, unlike last time. All right, gonna put it into group B because I already have an A and a C in here. And we're going to put this. We'll do both. I'll throw it on one side or the other, but so I'm gonna put it in like this, and then you can see, actually I'll turn this light off. And you can kind of see, right? So what I want to do is I want it to just brush past her this way. I don't want to go this way. I don't want to nail her. What I want to do is just have it kind of spread past her so that we get that line, but we don't really nail her with the light. We don't want to nail her with the light. That's the key right there. All right, so I'm going to go into my trigger. I'm looking at this light. I'm going to spin it just a touch. And I'm going to go into my B group. And I'm going to just dial it to about 6. I just want the dust. How about giving her a special effects look? What does that mean? All right, let's do this. Wow, that's a lot of light. That's a lot of light. And it's hitting kind of low for some reason. That's weird. Let's lift this light up. And then I'm going to dial that light down about a stop and a half. Actually, 2 stops. Let's just knock out 2 stops out of it. All right. Let's take a look. So that's with the kicker as you guys wanted. It's just giving me her shoulder pretty much. You know, I think I want to see what it looks like on the face side. Let's do the face side. Now the thing is you don't want this to hit your reflector and you don't want this to hit your diffuser, you know, because it will affect everything. So what I'm kind of doing is, let me see if I can inch this light back. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, like that. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting my hand in front of it to kind of see where this light hits. It's probably going to hit my diffuser, unfortunately, and that's going to neutralize the red a little bit, which I'm not going to be into, but we're going to do it anyway. I don't really like the way this, I'm going to pivot it a little differently. I already know it's going to be a little whack. I already know it's going to be a little whack. But I have the ability to pivot because I have all these grip points that I got in here, right? The 5/8 stand adapter, all of this. So let's see how this kicks. It's going to neutralize that red a little bit. I know it is, but we're going to live with it. Let's take a look. I like that a little better, guys. I don't really think I need the kicker personally. I think it's a little bit of distracting and over monopolizing the scene. But what we can do is dial that light down to almost nothing, maybe like 2.5. And what that's going to allow us to do is just get the subtlety of it without it being completely there, right? Something like that is a little more dialed in for me than just like, rah, there's a light, right? So no kicker, too much kicker, toned down kicker. You see the difference? Like you get the depth of her other brow line, but you don't get it over monopolizing it like the middle one. You guys with me? I'm not really into these shots. We're just kind of screwing around, but I figured why not? Man. I haven't done this in a while. All right. We're just screwing around, guys. And you guys seem like you're pretty like meh yourselves. So maybe we'll leave it on that one. Yeah, so if you're going to be at Imaging in Nashville this month, I'll be there. The Monday at 10 a.m. It is the first class session of the entire conference. And then that same day at 1 p.m., I will be shooting live at the Capture One booth. I think we're going to do black and white. I think we're going to do black and white, guys. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, so I don't know, just kind of screwing around. If you guys have any questions about any of the gear, a lot of the links to it is down in the description. Thanks to everybody who gave with the super chats and the coffee thing and all that stuff. I really appreciate the support on this channel. Every time I go live or do something on this channel, it does take resources. So all that support is beyond appreciated. I can't even thank you guys enough. If you guys want, please check out the rest of this channel. There is a ton of demos. 8 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour demos. They're on this channel. So do me a favor, just poke around, share some of these videos around. If you have any questions about small strobe, there is a ton of small strobe lighting demos on this channel. C-stand demos, cinefoil, articulating arms, travel stands, my thoughts on the Z9 when it came out, the X100V, the Fuji GFX 100. There's a lot of stuff on this channel. Great conversations with Ricci, Matt Irwin, Joe McNally has an appearance on this. Ab Cisse, Cliff Hausner has an appearance on this channel. And don't forget, I did a gear predictions video for 2023. And so far I've been right. So I'm just saying, you know, yeah, I don't know what to say. I have no idea what's going on with Matthews. Apparently, it's been rough on the Matthews front for gear. I'm not sure what's going on there. But that seems to be kind of where we're at in this industry right now. So just hold tight. Yeah, guys, if you can, if you do watch any of the videos, dropping a comment and a like really, really helps out. But the best thing you can do to support this channel is share the videos. If you get them out of the sphere and into other people, also join the Discord. The link is down below. You can share some of your work, ask some questions. There's people using the gear you're using that have already been through some issues. They can help you out. So join the Discord, say what's up, share some work, do some answering of questions yourself, and ask some questions. There's a lot of knowledgeable people in there, okay? It's already going, you putting... No, I'm glad you guys get stuff out of this. This was a jank demo. This was jank demo. But it is what it is, you know, warts and all, as Joe McNally would put it. And I just have to remember when I didn't put the light in TTL, like a mook. I'll tell you, I don't think anyone realizes what it's like to not just shoot, but shoot and talk. Shoot, talk, and explain what you're doing. Shoot, talk, explain, and think about the next step of what you're doing. Shoot, talk, explain, and think about the next step of what you're doing, plus the live stream. I mean, all of this is just a ton of work, guys. So I'm glad you guys appreciate it. And I'm going to try to keep this channel going. It's just extremely hard for me. You can also check me out on other channels. I have videos on Avenger, on Manfrotto, on Nikon, on Adorama, of course, and plenty of other places I did podcast guests. If there's any podcasts you guys listen to you think I'd be a good guest for, let me know. I'll reach out to them. Maybe I can jump on. Try to get on some other channels, whatever I can do where I don't have to do all the work. You know, I'll try to do it, okay? Yeah, man. I guess that's it. I hope you guys have a good Saturday night. I am going to crash right now and then pack all of this up. But not only do I have to pack all this up, I have to take it on a plane. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you, I guess I'll see you on the next one. I don't know. Dan Norton will be going live this Thursday if you're watching this as of right now. So hopefully I'll be making that one. Oh, I'll also be at WPPI in March. I'm doing a shutter drag demo, and I will be at Shutterfest in April. I got 3 classes for Shutterfest, and I'll see what I can do at Adorama on the store floor like I used to do. It is what it is. I'm working on it though. So, whew, man. All right, guys. Jank demo and all. I appreciate you. Be good out there.